According to some experts, we can find very detailed information on UFOs and aliens in the old Sumerian culture, now considered to be the cradle of our civilization. The people then had extraordinary astronomical knowledge. Zachariah Sitchin.
If somebody says, where did you get the idea? I say, I read the Sumerian tablets, and that's what they say. They said that our solar system is made up of 12 members. And this is stated in the Sumerian text over and over and over again, not one time. And they say there is the sun, which is in the center, not like the Greeks or others thought that the earth is in the center. The sun, there's the moon, which they gave reasons why they considered it a member by its own, and 10, not 9, but 10 planets. Therefore, I'm very happy that when today astronomers look for this planet, they call it Planet X. They mean maybe the unknown planet, but it's also the 10th planet. They called it Nibiru, which means planet of the crossing, and the ancient symbol was the cross, not from Christian times, but from 6,000 years ago. And they say that this planet, the 12th member of our solar system, has a very large orbit of 3,600 years, and every 3,600 years it comes between Mars and Jupiter, close to us. So they were giants.
This Sumerian cylinder seal from a Berlin museum is astonishing for several reasons. First, it depicts our solar system with the sun at the center and the planets arrayed around it, a fact not known to European science till around 300 years ago. It also shows the planet Pluto, which we didn't discover till 1930. And amazingly, there's another planet, which the Sumerians called Nibiru and believed that it was from where the Anunnaki, or celestial giants, came from.
Took place between Moses and Pharaoh. In the meantime, we need to focus our attention on the substantial differences between the Egyptian and Hebrew accounts with regards to how they interpret the same events. Unlike the Torah, which essentially documents a righteous victory for the Hebrew nation, the Kolbrin Bible tells us the same story, but from the viewpoint of the losers. While the Egyptian accounts were understandably tinged with a bit of disappointment and anger, their goal was essentially the same as that of the 9/11 Commission in America. They, too, had to answer the same questions Americans were asking right after 9/11. How did this happen to us? Why didn't we see it coming? And what can we do to prevent it from happening again? This is why their side of the story offers brutally frank reckonings that read like men-on-the-street TV interviews we often see on the nightly news. The Torah tells us that the 10 plagues of Exodus were God's punishment on Pharaoh for being hard-hearted. However, the Egyptians completely discount that view of history with a far more natural explanation. According to the Egyptians, the 10 plagues of Exodus were part of a global catastrophe that lasted for several months. They tell us this cataclysm was caused by the flyby of a massive object through the core of our solar system. It is interesting to note that they also attribute the Great Deluge, or what we commonly know as Noah's Flood, to an earlier flyby of this very same object. And they also tell us that it is unlike anything we'll ever see in the skies above. Described as being huge and reddish, it is also mentioned by other ancient civilizations as well. The Sumerians called it Nibiru. The Maya called it the Red Comet. The Druids called it the Frightener, and these are just a few. Like the Egyptians, the prophecies of these other civilizations also warn us this object will return in our time to wreak havoc once again. This far, we've learned that we have 2 historical accounts of the Exodus, and that the differences between the two offer us an entirely new historical canvas upon which we can now paint the story of Exodus.